Good afternoon and a warm welcome to everyone. This webinar specifically is hosted by CCM for CC-APAC in relation to launching the awards for this year, the CC-APAC Regional Awards. And before I start and before CCM takes you through the process, please allow me to welcome the chairperson of CC-APAC from Hong Kong, HKCCA, Chapman Lam. Over to you, Chapman.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, our guests, colleagues, and our fellow leaders from the Members Association, good afternoon, and very welcome to you all. And it is my honor as a chairman of the CC-APAC to welcome you to the launch of our Asia Pacific Awards. We gather not just to celebrate excellence and friendship, but to recognize the remarkable individuals, teams, and organizations that are shaping the future of customer management across our very dynamic region. Every day, we all turn millions of customer interactions into moments of trust, empathy, and delight. Through this award, we shine a spot on these who have gone above and beyond. And this award program was born from a very simple, powerful vision. Our industry is to be united, to inspire higher standard, and to create a platform where the best of Asia can be recognized on a regional stage. Whether you are a nominee, sponsor, a judge, a partner, or a supporter, your presence here marks the vision of reality. Thank you for believing in what we are building together. Okay, let's the official launch begin. Thank you.
Thank you, Chapman. Chapman is the chairperson for Hong Kong HKCCA, Hong Kong Customer Connect Association, and also leads the CC-APAC as the chair after Hong Kong having hosted the event. The chairmanship of CC-APAC is now with Hong Kong, where Chapman sits in as the chair. And what a wonderful way of describing what this awards are all about and what it represents. A regional community coming together, a continent's best is being recognized and rewarded through an effort of an association that has come together and being put together over a past decade in different form, size, and shape. 10 country associations, CC-APAC. So can I ask for the slides to come up as I start to move a little bit of a brief into what the association is about, what the awards means in this year, and the process towards it. So the launch of CC-APAC Awards, we don't have fireworks, we don't have an opening gambit, but we have a lot to share. We have learned from these recent years, hosted in Indonesia to Thailand, and then in Kuala Lumpur in 2023 after COVID. We went down to Singapore, and then we moved on to Hong Kong, and it comes back to Kuala Lumpur in a movement forward as what CCAM, the Contact Center Association of Malaysia, plans to do. My name is Vic Sivalingam. I'm the president of the Contact Center Association of Malaysia, and I'm truly honored to take on and work with CCM to host this year's awards. Along with me, I'd like to just ask Fatima Hussein to put on her camera, and I would like to introduce Fatima Hussein, who will be the project leader for CCAM. She's an EXCO member. We work together. Fatima, please, just over to you to introduce yourself.
Thanks, Vix. Hi, everybody. Good day. Yeah, I'm Fatima. I've been in banking actually for more than 30 years, and has been involved in contact center as long as I've been in the bank. Yes, as what Vic mentioned, I am also the EXCO of CCAM Malaysia, and I look forward to lead this event. And hopefully, this will be a memorable moment for everybody that is involved in the event. Thanks, Vic.
Thank you, Fatima. You will have much more airtime as the days progress past. But for all the audience here, potential participants, past year winners, association members of the different countries, let me just quickly take you through a few things. If you move to the next slide, I'll do a brief introduction, then I move to the awards. And then later on, for 30 minutes from 3 p.m. Malaysian time, we will have a bit of a panel session having Pak Andi Anugrah, the chairperson from ICCA Indonesia, who has immense amount of experience to come in and share tips technical specifics, we'll have Chapman return again to share his findings and observations from last year. And we were supposed to also have our CCAS from our organization from Singapore, Kenneth Chong. He will be joining in soon, I trust. If not, we'll continue the conversation because Pa Andy and Chapman have got a lot to share. I will move to the next slide to keep the agenda going. A quick introduction. Again, I want to set the stage. It was a real wonderful occasion last year. We had a fantastic set of awards in Hong Kong. And next slide, Suja. And it brings a community together. It brings a continent together. 10 organizations make up CC-APAC, the Contact Center Association of Asia Pacific. And that's from as far as Australia to Taiwan to Hong Kong to Malaysia to Indonesia to China to New Zealand, Singapore, Thailand, and Bangladesh. That's how our alliances are formed. And over the years, thanks to many leaders before me and who are also in the organizations together, the likes of Chapman, Pa Andy, Steve, Kenneth, a lot of them, Sarun, have been pulling together, sharing best practices, keeping an awards to create a harmonious setup and learning from one another. And the association, referred here more of an alliance, has benefited a lot of the association. For CCM, it has given us a lot of stage and pedestal to step up and know where we stand within the Asia Pacific community. I always speak on behalf of CCM, and we find it very useful for Malaysia to be part of this alliance. And learning from Indonesia, learning from Hong Kong, learning from Singapore, Thailand, Australia, China, New Zealand. Wonderful amount of learning. That's what the association and alliance brings. I'll move to the next slide. About CCM itself, since you are making your way to come to Kuala Lumpur, I think it's only proper that I make a little bit of introduction about the association in the country. Among the many countries here, we're not that large. We have about 35 million population. This year is very special for us because it's also Visit Malaysia 2026. It's a whole huge tourism year for us. Despite the global and geopolitics, we stand welcoming everyone into the country to participate in culture, heritage, as well as walk within the contact center corridors to learn more while you compete for awards. The two little sun bears there are called Vira and Manja. They are the mascots for Malaysian government's Visit Malaysia year. But for the association itself, we are called Contact Center Association of Malaysia. We were inaugurated in 1999. This will be 27 years old. We serve as a single national body for the contact center industry in Malaysia. We drive the agenda. We work very closely with the government of Malaysia through the Digital Ministry and through a Malaysian Digital Economic Corporation agency. The contact centers in Malaysia, the CX and contact center industry is part of the digital economy, which gives us greater leverage and opportunity to learn, to thrive, and to contribute back to the country's economy. And that's a huge thing for us. Being part of this 10-country alliance I mentioned to you just now, it has given us immense amount of broad perspectives. As Asia has always been a wonderful area of hospitality, service, and also recently more emerging in technology with such a large population, having China nearby and India on the other side and Indonesia, it allows us to break through barriers to learn from one another cross-border, and being part of the alliance has helped us do so. Driving contact center excellence and elevating customer experience standard, that's what we focus on. Our core agenda is industry development, membership value, and driving nation building efforts under the digital economy. That's what CCM does. We represent over 200 active members, about 300,000 employment, maybe not as much as some of my friends, fellow colleagues here who in their country operations, it could be larger. Some could be sized differently, but 300,000 employment in Malaysia is considered a very significant market for the human resource workforce. We use taglines like making connections because that's what we do. We try to bring practitioners and solution providers together. We try to map and merge opportunities for the industry to thrive. And in the CX space, we bring thought leadership in elevating experiences. CCM. Enough said, and maybe that's the last time you'll hear about CCM until you come to Kuala Lumpur itself in November to compete for the awards. And we'll take you through more tours and also brief you across what is happening in Malaysia in terms of standards. That's a photo of me and some of my fellow EXCO members standing there with Andrew from Singapore and also Chapman giving us the honor of taking back the hosting job. That was the host job presentation. Fatima there is dressed up in a nice traditional outfit. And we all stood very proud of that moment from the Malaysian team in Hong Kong last year, November. Next. What about this year's awards and how are we looking at it? The regional awards and symposium, we want to keep consistent because we think we've got a good formula going. Thanks to the many leaders who are around in the CC-APAC Association, we found a formula that works to recognize practices and corporates that have been thriving in the areas of contact center. And 5 categories is what normally has been in the recent years. And we are choosing to keep to consistency and stabilize the awards so that the learning continues. Normally the construct of the awards, the final piece, it happens in November. It has got a symposium and an award structure that we think has worked well in recent years, and we want to continue to grow on that strength. So on-site tours of Malaysian contact centers, whether they're in the outsourcing area or the captive in-house contact centers, an award presentation night. And we also are looking at a 2-day symposium, which we call a customer experience summit. As contact center excellence leads to customer experience, we feel the customer experience thought leadership will benefit the visiting audience and participants like yourselves. We welcome everyone to come and celebrate in Malaysia this November. As the world gets to a better place and a better day, we look at and we have chosen Sunway Resort Hotel. Some of you who have competed 3 years ago will know that what Sunway Resort is. It's a small little cosmopolitan center of a multicultural environment that thrives on both not just healthcare and education, but also a lot of theme parks and opportunities for visiting tourists to have a good time and fun. It's just about 15 kilometers out of center of Kuala Lumpur. And we have chosen Sunway Resort Hotel, again, a beautiful hotel with many, many hotel facilities so that our participants can enjoy different section of accommodations and whatnot. So that's the hosting part, right? Now I'll move to the more important part. Next, awards itself. The categories, for those of you who are first time seeing this or competing, or those of you who are coming in repeat and contesting again, you probably will have to educate all of us because some of you know this better than us. We take continuity, we take consistency, and we want to drive excellence. The 5 categories of awards that CC-APAC has over the years coined and put together are corporate awards, no individual awards, contact center operations, business contribution, customer experience, employee engagement, and technology innovation. These are the 5 categories that we want to test ourselves. How much you have transformed or how much you have innovated, there's always a way to find the space of fitting into this area. Some like to call it digital innovation. We still call it technology innovation. Some like to say AI innovation, but technology innovation will cover all that. Similarly, customer experience will draw down from technology, digital, and AI, and it still falls within the guidance that we have set. Some like to call employee engagement, employee experience, but we do believe this still stands tall and gives you full coverage and consistency across all 10 countries. Yeah, so this is where the categories will list. And normally each country, and this time too, each country will have 2 nominations coming through based on your country association's nomination. So that will take shape within the country to come to a central stage in APAC, hosted in Kuala Lumpur, to compete for the awards. Okay, this is an important part, just a reminding that we are staying put. For those of you who are new, you'll be hearing, what is business contribution or why is it not employee experience? Yeah, we'll tell you a little bit more. Next. The descriptions are clearly listed here. And if I take this webinar to paraphrase everything, it may not make sense. Definitely this deck will be up in the CC-APAC website. It'll be up in, and I recommend it'll be up in each country's website, country association's website. And you will be able to, it's done in simple English that covers everybody. I'll just read one: the customer experience, the best customer experience, the ability of the contact center to show their customer management in contact center services, providing value-added services and impact on customer satisfaction, sentiment, and engagement. The program includes customer satisfaction, relationship experience, and engagement program. It gives you broad strokes. It gives you ability to put your story of technology to workflows and customer journey mapping to actual practices. So it is how you come and present it, but it gives you broad strokes around customer experience as a strategy, as a journey into what will give you a chance to stand tall in the region. I'm not going to read every one of it, but I trust I'll just pause for a bit for that everybody can go through the various categories. Business contribution. Now, this has been always a gray area. The rest are all very clear and straightforward: technology, innovation, employee engagement. I'll just touch a little bit on business contribution. The ability of the contact center to show their program in increasing business contributions to the company, both in the form of growth in the number of customers or customer acquisition, saving operational costs, as well as increasing company revenue and profits. In the past, so interpretation is important. In the past, we have seen outbound telemarketing or telesales organizations or processes being submitted for award category because they're contributing to revenue growth. And sometimes you have seen inbound contact centers who have transformed to do upselling, cross-selling, and able to track revenue, submit for award. At the same time, we also have seen transformation projects that have brought the cost or brought operational efficiency and well-crafted stories on cost savings being submitted for the award categories. So it is a little gray, it is wide, but it has to show a lot of business benefits in whether it's top line or bottom line. Easiest things normally for the contact centers to do is bring telemarketing, customer acquisition programs into submission, but it can broaden itself a little better. Definitely over the period of time, we'll talk a little bit about it when we have subsequent briefings. Okay, in the interest of time, I will move to the next slide. Timeline, very important, because today at this stage, timeline is very important. And to move forward, we also want to make sure that we are recognizing everybody's timeline. Every association has got a method of choosing their two nominations. It could be the previous year award winners, that means 2025 award winners, or it could be 2026 award winners. Now, if it is 2026 award winners, whether it's from each of the country association, CCM's commitment is to hold on to ensure they follow their method. And I understand the last of the awards will come somewhere in early November. So hence, some of these timelines, and if something changes, we are quite flexible to change the timeline. So we have placed end November as the regional awards finalization, right? The judging, and the evaluations and all that. But we also recognize some, like CCM, Malaysia, takes 2025 award winners into this year's nomination. I was made to understand Singapore may do the same, or some other countries may do the previous year's award winners coming in. I understand Pak Andi is always real time and live, so he will bring the current winners to the platform. So many organizations in the country can choose their method. What we want to do is make sure today we are launching, we want to put all the materials in each country's website and the central website. And then we want to open up the nominations and registrations from September, run more briefings, and also it's important to run briefing on the systems that you're using, how to log in, how to submit, and some of the technical questions. We want to be a support, and we want to guide people through to submit and do the right things. The content, let it speak for your prowess, but I think we want to make sure technically you're guided to complete the process of submissions to all the evaluations. So what will happen is pre-awards briefing, there'll be video submissions. We think 13 November will give ample time, but we stand flexible and corrected if needed to. We do believe we will do a virtual judging session after your video submissions. So the video submissions, well, what we found very useful from last year's Hong Kong is having your PowerPoint slides prepared and presenting and being recorded and then submitting the video to allow the judges a real-time experience of your presentation and your content. And that is the video submission. The commencement of the virtual judging session will take place by judges that are nominated across from all Alliance team members, the country associations, coordinated through CCM in Malaysia. And then comes the yellow marked boxes where we come together as a community, as a continent in one place. And we want to welcome everybody in every way possible. Veera is on the left, Manja is on the right. Veera is a male name, Manja is a female name in the Malay context in Malaysia. Both are, they are sun bears who are our mascot. We want to host you and give you a good experience of what Malaysian tourism is this year. I pause for a bit. So there are steps. We are in good time, but we have to get past the technical usage of the system, the questions, and also the whole process of meeting the timelines and the judging process that takes place mostly in November. The video submissions and the actual virtual judging. Okay, you would have done all your hard work in your country. You bring that forward, but in a format that it fits into the regional evaluation. Fair enough? With that, I move to the next slide. The awards process is out. Nominee login credentials, the participants are pre-registered and will be given login access. So the system usage and submission that is all guided, governed, and secured is important, but the usage of the system with your credentials are important. The nominee assessment, nominees to start the assessment and process and proceed with submission, and of course the interview session. Simple, not overly complicated, because we are moving from a country where you've already been evaluated, seen as the best within your country, and moving to a centralized, a regional platform to get that comparison and evaluation. And the questions that you will see hereafter are designed to try to allow the judges to find comparison notes to categorize you according to the final evaluation, whether it's platinum or gold or silver or bronze. So we're not going to overcomplicate. Trust me, in CCM in Malaysia, the national process can be much more complicated than this. The idea that all leaders here in CC-APAC wish to do is to keep things simple, because we are all doing things from far and we're trying to bring some form of consistency. Okay, thank you. I'll move to the next slide. The judging process itself, each regional association will nominate a maximum of 2 participants for each category. Best customer experience, top 2, or whichever method that the association is using. We have no influence centrally. In Malaysia, for example, we find the top 2 award winners of the category and bring them in. And sometimes the name may be slightly different and can have 2 different categories combining, so you got to make some arbitrary view. So the associations hold the own final rights to put the nominees in based on your own local national awards. Some of you have aligned, some may not have been aligned. A little tweaking may happen. All done in fair and impartial method, I understand. Participants will be scheduled for virtual interview. Zoom is our preferred method, just like today here. Each team can have a maximum of 3 presenters during the interview session. Sometimes too many participants can complicate matters. So it's not that we want to be difficult about it, but 3 presenters allow some form of a good airtime and presentation flow. That's what we have come to learn. The judges may exclusively evaluate and score presentation from other associations other than your own. It is mandatory for judges to give constructive feedback and recommendations for each team. All judges are judges. They are experts. They have views. We also sometimes have to brief and remind our judges to keep it constructive and give feedback. Because remember, it's not just about competing to win, it's competing to learn. So we do think our expert judges can bring some value to the table, even during the process of judging. Hence that last point. No other reason. Yeah. I'll move to the next slide. The scorecard will look like this. Each winner will be receiving a trophy and certificate during awards dinner itself that night. Certificate will be signed, of course, by the host country. But we've got categories. So as you're being evaluated and classified by the scores, you will have 3 judges, scoring will take place. There's a lot of science to make sure that the scorings are mapped properly and then put into classifications, whether you walk away with a platinum classification or a gold classification or a silver to bronze. That's how we'll appear. We want to make sure that everyone is fairly evaluated and put in the right classification. So there will be governance around the judging process, but that's not for today. Bank Mandiri. Okay, I'll come back to you, Maria. I see something popped up in front of me. It says Maria Elizabeth, yeah? Okay, next, I'll come back to you. The scorecard looks like this. This is transparency, yeah? your background to data analysis to objective, the 10 different areas, right up to additional information which we love. Sometimes the stories are not told in our template. There could be an additional story, that little something more that can help you achieve your ambitions of your classification. And that additional information is as equally important as your key responsibility, resources, and performance indicators or results. So, of course, we want to know what industry, how do you belong, how's your contact center structured and set up. Data is extremely important. And you can, of course, set up your team to make sure enough data is supplied, but you already may have submitted them into your uh, local national awards. So objectives need to be understood, because remember, judges are looking at you when you are being evaluated from far and in that short space of time. So this information will allow them to immerse into your zone and appreciate and evaluate your contact center work in your output, in your handling of customers and whatever not. If your key responsibility is all about telemarketing, they need to understand that, right? The resources you use and the results you achieve. But please do also pay attention to category 10, that additional information, such a gray area, don't know what exactly to submit, but you will know, just like how you wow your customers, you will know how to wow and make a good impression to the judges who are experts in this field. So it's about 100% marking that will then flow through the previous awards category. Next, I think in the interest of time, I better move. Template for the corporate program. Okay, now this next 10 slides, I don't need to present it through. It will tell the story by itself, starting with the background, um, such as the business opportunities, the data analysis, the type of customers you serve, type of services. Be very specific, because different markets bring different size and shape and different challenges to the table, different challenges to the contact center. Your past performance, the current performance will tell you the shift of game that you're doing. So all this is extremely important. Next, the goal, the objective. What is your contact center standing for your brand, for your business, for your clients if you outsource? Very important. Next, creative part of our work is always need to be so. Describe the concepts, the ideas, the alternatives, things that you're doing differently that's bringing value to your business, bringing value to your customers. Next. Activities, I don't need to really paraphrase this one, but you do a lot of things. Your calendar is important. You have concepts, you have ideas. You need to also show how you're placing them in a nice executional format. Next. Yep, key response, as it said. I won't repeat this, but yeah. Next. The resources you use, the number of people you have, the kind of involvement of whether it's senior, junior leaders, frontline agents, the kind of support structure you have. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, all of us who are in the contact center, we understand at the end of the day, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of technology and good working processes that comes together. And your resources includes your technology, the costs and investments, and the people. You need to know. Some contact centers spend millions of dollars. Some do very little, but very creative to reach the same end results. Can be different and requires a lot of understanding for the judges as well. Next, KPIs, normal, in the contact center, month-to-month results, put in a nice graph. All those are key. Next, 9, your results, because your numbers must translate to results and achievement. For someone at 70% can be so big, while for another 70% may be small. So the story needs to be told a little better, because the 70% in your marketplace could be coming from a previous year of 50%. Just saying, I'm just quoting numbers. It's not 70% to the next person's 90%. It's about you and what this means in your context of your customers, your business, and from where you're coming from. May tell a lot of stories. So take pride in your results. You're already a champion. You're coming to a central stage to showcase your story. Next. I spoke about this additional information. We in Contact Center love a nice story of and a lot of good smiles, pictures, videos, your employee engagement activity, your fun and games, but also your training rooms and your facilities. All are beautiful. Contact Center is very blessed to have beautiful facilities and beautiful people having wonderful smiles. Showcase them. Take pride in it. And we would like to see the different culture come together. That's it. 10 questions, 10 areas. Next. I stop now. I know Maria has got a question before we go into this panel session. Hello, I'm Maria from Bank Mandiri, Indonesia. I'd like to confirm the maximum member that are allowed to join the interview session. The presenter are limited to maximum 3%, but for Q&A session, do we have the maximum requirement? No, actually, the 3% dialing in is very important because it keeps a certain cadence onto the platform. So there are people who have people with them, right? Sometimes somebody needs to whisper to you, or you may point to somebody to come online to say, maybe this person can help me take the question. I don't think we're too fussed about it. As long as you deliver your story and your facts carefully and properly without creating 50 people in the room dialed in and three judges being confused about everything, right? Maria, I hope I'm helping you answer, and we'll have a session somewhere in September, October to further deliberate on this one. Yeah. Thank you, Maria, for the question. Good question. Next, okay, with that, Kenneth is here. Kenneth Chong.
Yes, hi. Sorry, I was late.
No worries. Pa Andy was there. Pa Andy and Kenneth, I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself a bit because Chapman already introduced himself. He's the chair of CC-APAC, Mr. Hong Kong. But we need Pa Andy to say a few words of hello before passing to Kenneth. Pa Andy, is over to you to introduce yourself.
Hi, thank you, Rich. Hi, I'm Andi Anugrah from Indonesia Contact Center Association. Nice to meet you here. And hopefully you can join the CC-APAC Award because it's very challenging. You need to be in country winners before joining this. And only two participants each category means that's very challenging. But I think Fitch already explained everything. So stay tuned.
Pa Andy, we need more from you, but I'll just ask Kenneth to quickly introduce himself before I say a few words of both these gentlemen.
Yeah, thanks, Vic. So, Kenneth here, Chairman for Contact Center Association of Singapore. Really pleased to be here, and together with Chapman, Andy, and myself, and the larger of the CC-APAC broader family, we were co-founders and all for the CC-APAC, and to actually happy to see where it is in terms of the awards progress as well. But more importantly, it is a recognition platform when you're actually successful and won awards in your country to be nominated for this. So think of it as a two-step process, but it actually gets you the recognition and all as part of this competition because it brings you to a larger platform, right? Where you actually look at in terms of benchmarking yourself as well, right? So you go beyond the shores of your country. Yeah.
Lovely, Kenneth. Again, I think Kenneth said it, and I want to tell everybody, I want to pay tribute to both Pa Andy and Kenneth, founding members of CC-APAC before COVID, before the pandemic. Prior to that, they were also very instrumental in driving regional collaboration and alliances from a previous size and shape, a different organization, but for contact centers too. And along with a few other leaders, they have been instrumental in setting stage and driving the alliances, which today Chapman, myself, and all belong into. So the associations have grown recently through the participation of Bangladesh and New Zealand, but CCAS and ICCA has been a pillar of strength along with HKCCA, Thailand's TCCTA, and of course from China we also have a representation in Taiwan as well. Auscontact is staying strong from far, but staying strong. It is wonderful, as I said at the start. The alliance and learning from one another, collaborating cross borders is wonderful in a world that is very heavily challenged by geopolitics. I think this part of the world, within the contact center framework, we stay friendly, we stay connected, and we try to bring the best to the stage. But what's very important, and so well done, and thank you so much, Kenneth and Pa Andy, for over the years work that allows me, Chapman, and all come to the stage here to continue driving the awards with your guidance. We wanted you here because we want you also to share and tell stories from the past. Nothing better to shape the future than learning from the past and learning from what we have done. And that's what I really, really enjoy doing, reflecting before progressing and moving forward. So today I have a small panel discussion. Three gentlemen here, all big shots from the different countries, and of course our chairman of the association in CC-APAC, Chapman. I will ask him first because everything is fresh on his mind. Last year was a challenging year. He took a long journey. He worked with Pak Andy. He worked with the rest of the countries quite well and brought real collaboration to the table. And in November, when we all went to Hong Kong to participate in the awards, it was a wonderful feeling, a good feeling of hospitality, a good feeling of celebration, and also a lot of learning about where the contact center industry in the region has moved. It must have taken a lot, and that story needs to be understood and told. So I want to talk to and ask Chapman to share some of the highlights and lowlights, planning and running the awards to coming to the climax of the awards itself. Chapman, please share with us the insights.
Thank you, Vic. Yes, it seems like it's just 2 weeks away from last year when we did it in Hong Kong and Shenzhen. If I want to share some highlight, first of all, last year I was presenting in the tallest screen I have ever been. I think the screen in the hotel was around 3 story high, and myself look a tiny ant. But just kidding about that. But at that event, at the symposium, we actually learned a lot from different countries, from different practitioners. For example, the very high-end AI capability we saw in the contact center in China, how they microly manage every single script to save a few seconds in a call to make a huge difference because the scale they have. I know in Asia we have different maturity of the contact center, and that's the beauty how we can have this regional platform. So we can looking forward when I'm going to be like in China using AI. Or at the same time, I will also learn a lot from Park Andy, how in Indonesia the people are so motivated, the people are so friendly working together to deliver customer experience. So I would say the highlight will be the friendship we built, but also all the specialties and expertise we can learn from different country, different contact center from the winners. So I think that is the highlight. And I'm sure, Vic, you will deliver even better platform for experience sharing, and also the friendship will be go to the next level.
You're putting a lot of pressure on us, Chapman,
No
before we even
pressure.
start.
That will happen naturally if we work together.
Nice. We have to pick up all the learning from Hong Kong and be equal or better. I think that's how an alliance will progress, learning from one another and stacking up for a better tomorrow, right? But there must have been one tough, difficult moment coming into the awards, or whether it was in the judging area or during the evaluation process or coordinating the judges or even planning for the event. What would be that one most challenging moment for you, B. Chapman?
Last year, I think our members actually got two main challenges. One, uh, I think a lot of country also share the same pain is the language. So, like in Hong Kong, English is not my first language, and presenting in English will be a little bit stressful. But to be honest, the approach we are doing right now, pre-recorded video, probably is one of the best solution to make the first half of the judging section less stressful. Okay, so you can rehearse, you can do a number of times to make your video even better. Okay, the second half, yes, for the Q&As, we still need to use English as the medium. But I would say most of the judges, including myself, we can understand. We we are not in the English oral section. It's not an exam assessing your English. But in fact, we can feel your passion. We are talking the same common language in contact center management. So I would say, don't worry about the language. It's not a barrier.
Right.
Our passion will definitely overcome that. So I think that is the common or most frequently asked challenge from the members. The
That's
second
very good
challenge,
advice, Chapman.
and I would say the second challenge will be um, Hong Kong is a small city, same to our hotel. So we have a hotel with 700 capacity for the award dinner, and we reserve a significant portion for our friends from Asia. So the challenge for local members to get a ticket for the gala dinner was very challenging. We sold out all the tickets within one day. So Vic and members from CCA and members from other association, book your tickets as soon as you can. That is my advice.
Very good advice. But I really like the one about the language because we come from 10 different countries. And whenever we have finally chosen the participation, some countries are comfortable with English, some countries prefer their own national language. And that's important. We respect every language. And hence, that's why the video submissions and the opportunity to convert or translate earlier allows a lot of participants to come on even playing ground. And I think it was very much Pak Andy Chapman last year that a lot of effort was undertaken with that view in mind, right? That we have to neutralize language and bring the best skills to the table. Very nice. Yeah, book your tickets early. We'll do that. You had Disney Hotel. We don't have Disney here. We have Sunway Resort Hotel. So we will try to get and do best. Thanks, Chapman. I'll come back to you later, but just want to jump on to Pa Andy. Because I think the way I saw Pa Andy collaborate with Hong Kong, from Indonesia to Hong Kong, and coordinating and giving the engine, the fuel to drive the awards process, to keep some like, continuity from before to last year was really amazing. Pa Andy, I'm not sure how you do it, where you find your energy, where do you draw your inspiration, but you were all over everywhere, advertising, marketing, coordinating, supporting judging, to supporting coordination work. Tell us your experience as a awards coordinator and your familiarity with the awards framework itself, right? So one part your experience, but also the framework, things that you are guiding all of us in a technical space. Just share your experience, especially last year. I know you've done this many years, but last year was very important, I thought, because of the collaboration itself.
Okay, thank you, Rich, and thank you, Chapman, to opportunity to supporting Hong Kong. Of course, it's quite challenging for us to support the CC-APAC, but I think we need to continue the award program and of course challenge about the award because you need to build the trust. Uh, as well for ICC, for myself, yeah, is quite challenging because I need to support my team, but I need to be transparent. I need to be I mean that make it that this is trustable. Yeah, that we are not manipulating the data. We're not manipulating anything. So we try to publish as much as possible the way participant can participate well in the award program. So with better coordinating with Hong Kong, of course, we take up responsibility to do that with supporting with my team, of course, yeah, application provided and video conferencing tools and supporting with the judges. Of course, this is not an easy, but because my team also have sometime lack of the English communication, but we try with supporting with full team of my team to do that. I think CCM will do better than us this time. Hopefully, to with new tools, new application will be better to do that. Hopefully with better communication as well. Anyway, we are ready to support in case anything that needed to do that. Um, I think that's all. Yeah, better coordination, make it trustable, transparent, give all the how to communicate with the participant because they joining us is not only to receive the award, but is also the opportunity for them to be well known, to share best practice and yeah, other things. Yeah, thank you, Pitch.
Thank you, Pak. But I just want to quickly ask you because you're so familiar with the awards category and the different sections, the technical evaluation, the 10 points just now that we were sharing. I know you're very familiar. Where do participants normally struggle with where things don't come out clear? I don't think it's the background. I don't know whether it's the additional information or is it the data points. In your recent 2 3 years, I know you've been analyzing a lot. You do a lot of analyzing behind for judges. Where do you see participants struggling in the 10 categories or any specific areas or observations that you have had?
I think is most of the area actually have critical things here. But when I saw the scorecard, I think is quite different. The what is the percentage of each category? When I saw the data analysis, it should be data analysis higher percentage because it's the key to go move forward. I saw that maybe if there is any correction later, you put 5% on it. But I think if already decide, that's okay. But this is very critical things. Data analysis should be supporting the creativity of it. Uh, and then the creativity should be the next part will be challenging for the participant. And the last thing is actually two part KPI and result. Sometimes KPI and result quite uh, they need to differentiate between what is the measure of KPI and what is the impact result impact to the business, to the organization. So articulate the impact sometimes is not well defined by them. But actually, there is objective should be related to the result, because if the objective says something but result not fulfill the objective, is it could be not good in our presentation. And then when they're doing preparing actually video, sometimes they spend a lot of time to prepare video. Not actually, but you just need to present it because we not score the artistic of the video. I think that's something that need to be considered. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Bob. Very good advice, very good insights. Collecting your data and putting it together is one part, but also your creativity being articulated and presented from far to judges who are judging you or evaluating you remotely. I think it's a huge piece, right? Other than, I think, of course, Pa also mentioned about results and KPIs. Just pay a bit more attention. Trust me, Pa Andy has seen it all over the recent years. What he's saying now, take it with a lot of close to your heart to be mindful the time when you're ready to compete. I'll move to Kenneth. I've known Kenneth for a long time, and he's shaped this alliances in many different ways. But he's double hatting. He's been in the industry, bringing technology and the newness of technology across. So a man with tech on his mind and heart all the time. Um, but before asking him questions about things that he will be expecting in technology and innovation, I also want to draw down on his extensive experience in CC-APAC from a founding member and his involvement over the years to share some of the learnings and insights on how the awards has been constructed. I think prior to CC-APAC, there were some other awards. Sometimes we call it recognition, sometimes we call it competition. Sometimes we try not to shame anybody. We want to put fame on the table. Many different thinkings have come and gone, Kenneth. Yeah, I think we always debate in the leaders' meeting a little bit more. But over the years, how have you seen it shaping up, and what do you hope for in this year's awards? What do you, Kenneth? Before I check in on your technology tools.
I think for a start, if you look at how CC-APAC has actually evolved, and I think to Andy's notion, right, as well as Chapman's notion, each of the countries and all that's within this group over here has different maturity, different level, as well as scale, right? So if we actually say that if you're going to do a straight line or rather a horizontal baseline, there's no one size fit all, number one, right? The consideration in terms of where the maturity are, the advancement of technology adoption, but more importantly, if you look at the business impact, has always been top of mind, I think amongst the team, basically, I think everyone knows that I will likely always be the devil's advocate. Sorry, not the best name, right? But always insistent in terms of raising the bar and continually innovating, as well as making sure that, be it the templates and all gets updated, gets more relevant into where the business and the state of business is and how customer experience has actually evolved. I think this is actually the charter, right, that the team within CC-APAC is always working towards, right? We may not be, for example, progressing at the very same pace as everyone within the room because of the fact of the different maturity, but that has always been one of the constant reminder that we work within the team to actually strive to work towards. Yeah.
Kenneth, thank you very much for that. I want to get your input, your thought leadership a little bit here, because I'm pretty sure today, in today's world, every time we look at contact center or evaluation judging, the world of AI and technology, digital and technology will come out, and the sexiest stuff is in around that space about how one is transforming or evolving towards. And you coming, and not just your CC-APAC or CCS had, but you're coming a man of technology from many, many years and all your life. If you're judging, what would you look out for? Knowing that everybody wants this word AI somewhere, everybody wants to know that, or they're creating experience or whatever it is. What are some of your advice from how participants here can push through, and where should they touch and not touch the technology story, right? They should, I think, but I don't know. I leave it to you. I want your advice. I really want it to be from the hat that you're wearing in the technology space. Kenneth, I don't know, I should be saying this, but yeah, he's currently with Microsoft. He's been with many fantastic contact center solutions providers. And Kenneth, if you are judging and looking at technology, what would you look out for?
Okay, first thing I know, I think I'll guess that Vic is actually coming after me for the fact that I missed last year's awards, just because of the very fact that, really to answer this question, because I was actually running an AI summit, or rather AI tour in Malaysia. So unfortunately, I was there in your country, but then I wasn't there in our chairman's one to support that. But I think if you look at where, I think back to the same question over here, AI is a common theme. AI is a conversation. You will talk to anyone in the industry, right? You know that the number of AI, I mean, I would just ask everyone to try to do that on Monday next week, right? Just count the number of times AI is actually being mentioned. And in the last 1 minute, I spoke it for 3 times, right? So where you actually see in terms of that, it is a tool. But more importantly, it's really the tool that is highly accessible and the barrier of entry is super low. Everyone has it. If you look at it, even you have that on your mobile devices, your social media and everything, it is there, it is accessible, barrier of entry is low. It's really about how you use it, why you use it, and more importantly, if you look at the categories or rather one of the benchmark, the business impact. How you have actually used that to actually improve and accelerate your business impact, your efficiencies, your customer satisfaction, and more importantly, what did it actually do for you in terms of the ROI? The quantification of that is key. Given the fact that it's highly accessible, the cost of entry of this technology and the barrier is very much lower. And if you look at it, the ROI is going to be super much significant in terms of how you do that, right? There's also this thematic, as we actually talk really about, is AI here replacing jobs? The answer is no, right? AI is actually here to augment, but it may potentially replace some of the folks in the room or some of the folks in the organization, just for the very fact it's not the technology replacing the human, but it's another human who knows the tool on using AI that is replacing the other one that wasn't, right? So it's really about, if you look at how you do that, how do you actually now infuse that technology? It could be AI, it could be anything in the flow of work, number one. Number two, how can you actually be the human in the loop that actually in the flow of work uses AI to augment and to drive an impact? So I think from a judging criteria or rather an assessment for any categories that you have, be it on CC-APAC Awards or even the categories that you have maybe in country, just like how we have it for Singapore, is really in terms of what are you using that for? Why do you use that? What was the impact? What is the learning? Because number one, there's never been a one flip and one touch and straight away you get AI to be successful. Just think of the prompts that we're actually doing. The first generation of an image or first generation of a reply using AI may not be the same and may not be the first draft that you're actually sending it out. That's number one. Number two, it's really about how you refine with your prompt and how you be more specific with the data set that you have. The bigger your data set that actually fuels that engine, gets you a more precise and more impactful outcome. So again, these are some of the hints, these are some of the angles if you look at in terms of how you do that. And it doesn't matter whichever brand, because if you look at in terms of the tool that's out there, there's just so many, right? But more importantly is how are you using that to drive an outcome?
Thanks, Kenneth. Excellent piece of advice. Um, the reason I asked that question is I think it's very easy to fall trap and showcase your toys and gadgets and submit something. But it's also very important to articulate the business value that it's bringing in. And hence, what Kenneth said made so much of sense to me. I hope it does for all of you. Talk about the story that brings your customer and the business. Everybody's on AI, and you cannot run away. Your story will have an AI element in whichever category I suspect. But don't get trapped into saying, I have it. It's more about what you're achieving with it, how are you applying it, where that creativity or innovation comes from. I think there's more to it than, and that's the world that we're living in today. Not just I use AI, but how am I achieving my objectives with AI? I think it's very important. Thank Kenneth for that. We are reaching the end of the session in another few minutes. And it's very important that the senior leaders, Chapman, Pak Andy, and Kenneth, can leave a parting few words or advice for all of us here. I was hoping to get their one or two liner advice for all potential contestants. I think some of you are waiting nominations. Some of you are waiting to collect your national awards before you go to the regional awards. No harm getting that advice now so that your journey here, journey forward to that pedestal, that platinum or gold or all other categories will start here with a good piece of advice. So maybe I'll invite Kenneth this time to start off and maybe whether to Singapore or to the rest of the continent, the Alliance team here. Kenneth, what is that one advice that you want to give for potential participants, contestants in the awards?
I would say, go with a growth mindset. Look at raising the bar, look at bettering yourself, doing better than how you did in the last session. Look at how you can actually drive and be very, very crisp in terms of the impact you have actually delivered. Because at the end of the day, yes, the interview session is short, right? It's really about how polished and how precise you are in terms of delivering your message to be highly reflective of the work that you have actually done. So prep, raise the bar in terms of whatever prep you actually need to do. Make sure it's backed by data, right? And make sure that you're actually prepared for it. Because at the end of the day, preparing your speech, preparing the very fact we talk about translations and everything, the AI tool is there to actually help you prepare. So think of it, use the tool to actually augment yourself, right? And I'm definitely looking forward to the improve and the better entries and everything that's coming year after year. I'm looking for that for this year.
Thank you, Kenneth. Good advice. Next, Pak Andy, your advice. Indonesia comes in strongly every year, but it's not just for Indonesia, it's all across CC-APAC. What would your advice be?
Be prepared. I think because you are in country winners, so don't worry. Just share best practice and see you on top Gover Platinum.
Almost saying be yourself because you're already a winner, right? When you win your national awards and you come here. Nice, nicely done. Chapman, Hong Kong has brought so much of innovation. I mean, I saw things that are happening there last year that is really mind-blowing. You lead the association. You've seen things shift, pivot forward, up. But to the whole region, what would your advice be?
I would say there will be a lot of learnings like what we had in Hong Kong last year. And first of all, similar to what Pak Andy said, you must be proud of you because you are the top performer, top winners in your country. And then maybe when you come to Malaysia to join the event, at the same time, stay humble because I would say you are surrounded by a lot of top winners. And definitely you will find some common challenges, common solution, but at the same time, pick those what are different from what you are having, what you are doing, and then learn from them. So I think that will be a great learning opportunities for everyone in KL. So enjoy your trip there in November.
Fantastic, Chapman. Thank you, gentlemen. But very importantly, Malaysia awaits you. But importantly, before that, there is many more stops to take. Be yourself. Uh, Different countries, different maturity. Language is not a barrier. Everybody's story is a story for the continent and the region to learn from. It's not just about winning, but it's about learning from one another, standing in front of and with together with some of our best, the champions across APAC. I just want to ask Fatima, uh, the project coordinator from Malaysia, my EXCO member at CCAM, who will be leading this charge to organize our hosting job. Fatima, any parting words as you wait and welcome folks over the whole period of time?
Yeah, there's a lot of sharings. Thanks, Vic. There's a lot of sharings. I guess in terms of preparation, every country will have their own ways of preparing. But as an organizer, we are happy to provide the platform for you to showcase your best, the awards, for you to win the awards. The platform for you to share the best practices, for you to connect, networking, and together with the CCAM Secretariat, the CCAM Committee, we will all welcome you to Malaysia and look forward to meet all of you here very soon.
Thank you, Fatima. On behalf of the Contact Center Association of Malaysia and my fellow EXCO members who are also dialed in, as well as from my colleagues and my friends from CC-APAC leadership team, thank you very much for spending the hour with us. You will get more information from your country's host country's website, as well as the CC-APAC website. We will work closely to keep everybody appraised as this journey takes off. We are officially launched and we look forward to the new Asian champions or APAC champions at the end of this year. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Vic. Thank you, everyone.
Hey, thank you, everyone. Looking forward to seeing you in the sessions as well. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks all.
Thank you, Paige. Well done.
Yes. Bye-bye.